Alrighty, this is Rashay going for What's the Word, and I have J.Mac the Dragon. My first question is, what's your favorite J.Cole song?
Mm, my favorite. That's a hard question. I really.
I know. I love it
Mm,
too.
my favorite J. Cole song.
You have to.
I could probably only give one right now. I don't know if I can give one in terms of like all his music that I'd probably say, damn, that's hard.
Yeah.
Uh, I think for the longest, 2014 Forest Hill Drive inspired me to do music. So I
Yeah.
guess if I had to pick one, it would be from there. I
Okay.
guess I remember during that time when that came out, the song that I think I liked the most, it was my favorite for a long time, was probably Two Cities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good one.
So I think I'd probably say, damn, that's hard because there's a lot of like, but
Yeah.
I guess I'll go with that. Two Cities.
Listen, I'm not mad at the answer. Any answer would be a great one because
Right, yeah, especially for Cole. Yeah, that's tough because I've had a lot of favorites doing different periods of J. Cole, but I think to take it back, I think that's a good choice. It'd be either that or Adolescence.
yeah, those are two
Yeah.
great songs. What is your song of the year?
From just anybody?
Yeah, from anybody.
Like this year?
Yeah, this year that you keep playing over and over again. Your favorite song from this year.
My song of the year. I'd probably say I so far I probably from the album that I probably have liked the most is from another favorite rapper, Joyner Lucas, his ADHD 2.
Okay.
So that's probably something that I repeatedly go back to when I go into like when I go get into the car, whatever it is, like songs from that. So I'd probably say then there's a lot of songs from that though. Either New Sofa with uh forgot his name, singer dude, Joyner Lucas. The song's called New Sofa or Active with Big Sean.
Okay.
Either one of those two from that. That whole album I'd probably say would be like my all my songs, albums of the year.
Dang, I'm going to tap into his new album. Haven't heard it yet. So
Yeah,
I'm
I think you have to tell me what you think of that. I think it's cool. I think it's much better than the first one, and it's a lot better mass appeal.
okay. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
check it out for sure. So UT or Bobcats?
You said what?
UT or Bobcat?
I say Bobcats because that's where I came from, but my family would probably feel differently.
Oh.
And because my uncle played for UT and he went to the league in 1981. He played for the Patriots and he graduated at UT. He was inducted into the UT Hall of Fame a couple years ago. So my family would probably say UT, but I graded from Texas State, so I'm going Bobcats.
Okay, yes. I was Texas State too for a semester. I hated it, but go Bobcats. I'll take
Why?
no, I transferred to PV. I just like PV better. I don't know.
Wait, so you said you went to where?
PV. I transferred to PV.
Oh, I know why. Okay, yeah, I know why.
So you were born and raised in Irving, Texas. Can you talk about your childhood growing up in the city of Irving?
Yeah, actually had a really good childhood. It's not the rapper story at all. Yeah, I had a really good childhood. I grew up in a single mother household, and I grew up in the suburbs, and yeah, a lot of like I feel like I had a good upbringing. The village that I come from raised me with like integrity, love, morals, values, and stuff like that. So I had family all around like the Dallas area. And that was when Irving was kind of because when I was young through middle school, uh, I would have like sleepovers and hangouts and stuff with my mom would have at her house. She did a lot for me and like my friends and stuff like that. And so we would just set up, uh, like be up all night, set up different TVs, play video games all night, talk about girls, play games. Um, and then that's when I first kind of started getting into like freestyling, like because we would have like a computer and go on YouTube and play like just random beats, like around 2 or 3 a.m. We'd be like Cypher, and we just kind of sit around rapping, and that was my first taste of like just like starting to hone that. Even when I wasn't even thinking anything about being a rapper or music or anything like that. Just us doing that and having fun. I look back and think like, damn, that was like building blocks. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even.
Is there anyone in your family that's like musically inclined that can sing, that is rapping or play instruments or anything?
Not really. I think I have a few folks that are kind of musically inclined that sing and stuff like that, but maybe not to the level of like um making music. I know my uncle was an entrepreneur, but not in I think in musical context. I think it was something else. He was real good with technology and stuff like that. So as far as what I'm doing, no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So you're like the first one that's like stamping it and going off and doing music.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say right now before this go live, my bad, y'all, if I miss somebody, but off the top of the head, I can't think of anybody. Mostly because my family's mostly been sports.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so you attended Texas State University. You graduated with your master's degree in 2017. And I know you said, well, I want to know what inspired you to take music seriously. I know you briefly said J.Cole, the
yeah.
Drive album, but what else made you want to really just sit and say, like, I want to do this full time, or I want to take this seriously and actually start making your own music?
Um, that's a good question. I'd probably say so. I got to Texas. I was a freshman in 2012, and I guess by that time, so after the sleepover freestyles I was telling you about, that gradually transitioned to like eventually I was in high school. And sometimes we would like after school would let out, we'd have to go to the bus circle and wait for the buses. And they didn't really want kids just hanging out after school. So we would just kind of like while we're hanging out over there waiting, we kind of like cipher in like the circle and stuff. And so again, that was like things that we were just doing and I was building those blocks. We had lunch table ciphers, of course, in high school. That's part of the course. Like so after years of like doing this, eventually I'm in college and I joined Hip Hop Congress in Texas State. Yeah.
That too. That's crazy. When I was
Yeah. Um and that I think looking back, I don't know if I could articulate it back during that time, but as an older adult, I can tell you now looking back, I think the feeling that I was experiencing was inspiration because I remember being in there in one of the meetings and like they have a part at the end of the meeting where it was called sound scan and basically people could get up and basically display their art or song or whatever they're working on and I was seeing people get up doing these at this time I'd only been able to like freestyle. I could just rap, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm seeing people though getting up and like displaying songs and actual art. And so I was like, damn, like I remember thinking like I want to do that too, and like I was looking at how people would react to them, and I was like, I want that recognition, that respect, that admiration that you get from being an artist and really being on top of your craft. These are like I said, this is like the adult brain. I'm articulating what I was feeling like because at the time I was just like, damn, like what is this? What is this? What's going on? And then so from there it went to like people that knew me in that space in the organization, I think they thought that I was talented, that I could rap well, and there would be those that would try to encourage me to be like, "Hey, you should think about trying to taking this seriously." Um, I think for me, it was kind of an insecurity thing because I'm from the suburbs and I grew up in a white neighborhood and stuff like that. So I think in my mind, I was like, there's no way I could ever be a rapper because of what, I'm saying? I'm thinking of like what the stereotype would be as what a rapper and what you think of immediately when you see that, right? And I wasn't even really hardcore into like music or hip hop at the time. Like I liked it, but I wasn't really like not nowhere close to where I'm at now with music and stuff. And so I think that insecurity mentally held me back too. But despite that, I started working on like making songs, like actually songwriting and recording because I was told that like, you can't just want respect and recognition with nothing to show for it. You have no bodies of work, no songs. That's not how this works. And so, SoundCloud was a thing back then at the time. So yeah, I just started working on just like putting stuff out, making songs and everything. And so I think that as I started, that was me. Now I'm like actually making music. and I started to become maybe in love with it. Then like that year that Cole's album dropped in 2014. Yeah, it was December. I think it was early December, and the city was kind of empty. A lot of people go back home for holidays and shit. And I think I had a lot of time to just absorb that album because I spent a lot of time by myself. And I guess it just it made I think it just touched me in ways that I couldn't like just fathom. I think I just got hit with so much like inspiration and like from how great that album and like having that time to absorb it. And at that point I was reaching a point of like becoming more and more serious. You know what I'm saying? And then that happened, and I was back at home in Irving a couple weeks after that visiting, and one of my best friends from high school, he had got a apartment with his girl outside of the city, like in another city close to Irving, about like 30, 40 minutes. And so every time I back home, that's two best friends I know from high school. And every time I'm back home, I would hang out with them, pick one up, the one that lived closer to me, and then we'd go to the one that has his own place. So all three of us are at his place and we're smoking and just hanging out, listening to music. And I remember just kind of like, I was still just thinking about that album. I was sitting there, we're hanging out and everything. And it was quiet. And I just I broke the silence. And I was like, yo, man, like, I think I can do this for real. Like, I think I can, like, really, yes, I'll have to maintain my life. Like, I have a regular job and everything. But in terms of, like, what I want to do with my life and the way that I'm going to be approaching this and building this, I think I want to go into this full force. And then 11 years later, here we are. So,
And I'm glad that Hip Hop Congress really creates that safe space for people to like, do their music and share it with people because that really sparks like a lot of people's like inspiration and like maybe they having doubts about doing it or not. It really gives them the motivation to do it. So I'm glad that was what Hip Hop Congress could do to you because I was in it too when I was at Texas State, and I loved it. I loved the club. It was super cool. What
yeah.
did you get your bachelor's and your master's in when you was at Texas State?
My bachelor's, mass communication, electronic media. Going into college, I thought I wanted to, because I was like the president of my speech club in high school. Um, I could always like speak well, and I've always been articulate. So like I thought going into college, I'd be like a news anchor or something like that, something in broadcast because I could be on camera and I could speak. Ironically, I just still am mass communication. I still am good on camera, so it ended up going that way, just a different medium. But at the time, yeah, it was when I was wanting to do stuff in broadcast, so that's where that came from. And then had a minor in theater because I thought I wanted to do that actor rapper thing. I still kind of do, but I learned how much how like acting is an art, and that's a whole different thing that you have to really like lock in. And I learned that through taking those classes, and I was like, yeah, maybe somewhere down the line, like I think I need to focus on just one thing right now. Uh, and then masters, I went for applied philosophy. I thought maybe all the things that I would expose myself to would help sharpen like my intellect and my music and give me more things to talk about and analyze and speak that to people in my music and everything. And then also I didn't want to go back home. And so I was I was also just doing shows at that time and just starting to like build really. And so it was either go back to Dallas or go to grad school and have more time to like work on music. So I'm like, yeah, mom, let's go to grad school. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not going back home. And yeah, so
That's funny. So besides J.Cole, who are some of your musical inspirations and why? Kind of I read it was J.Cole that was someone who really inspired you.
right. Cause he like that was why I studied to like learn to do music. Other inspirations who I studied later on, that I always typically get inspired when they drop. Joyner Lucas,
Mhm.
big fan of him. I think because Joyner is really kind of like Eminem-ish vibes, but kind of a mix. It's kind of like just made. I feel like Eminem, but black almost. That's a joke, you know what I'm saying? But like kind of. But I think with Joyner, I like that the lyricism. his the stories that he tells, and even though sometimes it can get kind of dark, I can tell he's just a person that's been through things and wants the best for those around him and his family. So I really like that. See, like for me, it goes a long way with the person the artist is, because you can be good at music all day, but if I can tell, and some people can fake it, of course, in their music, but if I can tell that you seem authentic through the things you say in your bars and like your songs and stuff, that's what goes a long way for me. You don't even have to always be that good. um, all my top five is good though. Joyner. I'm big into Griselda. I don't know if Benny the Butcher and all them. If you know heard it. Okay, well check that out. So they're like up north Buffalo type of like gritty hip hop rap, East Coast. Benny the Butcher is one of the artists that's he's probably my favorite out of the group. But Griselda is like a whole like movement. So it's a bunch of different artists, and I really mess with their whole team. Um, Mick Jenkins, he's another artist that's up north, Chicago. Um, and then I like Mick Jenkins because, or I didn't give reason why I like Griselda. I like Griselda because of the gritty. I like East Coast rap, the gritty under in the basement sound that their
Yeah.
music has. That's just what I'm drawn to the most. It's why even though I'm from here, people say that I sound East Coast, and it's just because I've studied Cole and like other artists who studied people up there, and I'm just really into artists up there, so it kind of affected my sound like that. But I'm from the South, um, so that's why I like them. I feel like they are. It's like a modern version of old school hip hop.
Mhm.
And so I feel like with how gangsta it is and the crack music, whatever it is, selling dope, like
Mhm.
I feel like it represents like old school hip hop in the modern day. Like they have that soul of it. So I really mess with that. Um, Mick Jenkins, I like I like because he's a real intelligent dude. He's one of the best lyricists I know, and how he like crafts his bars. It's almost very poetic. The other person that reminds me of that is like Wale. The way they both have this like it's like a poetic flow, even though it's still rap. It's not poetry, but you can tell just it just sounds different with like the words they use. Some words that other rappers use, they use higher tier words for those, so that it opens up more rhyme schemes and more ability to like make bars and flows and stuff like that. So
A lot of synonyms.
yeah. Because the more words it's the more you have more access to that. So he's an artist that I think does that really well. Uh, and I like what he stands for in his music. And then I probably say West Side Boogie. He's
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Um, I with West Side, I like I feel like I like introspective artists. And oh, okay, cool. That we lost. I like really introspective artists and introspective songs that are really reflective. I like that. That's why I try to do that in my music as well. Those are some of my favorite artists, and I think he's one of the like higher end artists that do that really well. When you listen to his music, um, a lot of the bars and even in some of the like lit songs are like introspective and reflective and make you think. Or he's talking about his place or his feeling within the grand scheme of things or things around him. I think I appreciate, or I'm saying I appreciate that, and I think he does that in a way that a lot of artists don't do it, even when they're being introspective. You know what I'm saying? Drake's another who's really good at that too. Um, yeah, I say that.
Those are a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check some of them out because you gave really, really good detailed reasons why those are your favorites, and it all makes sense. I can tell by like listen to your music as well. But I'm gonna have to check some of them out because I don't know some of them. You said they're on the East Coast, but I love your answer to those artists. Like you really took time and you really listen to their craft.
Thank you.
You put out a lot of music this year. Can you talk about your recent project, Struggle Bus? Can you talk about the title of the project and how the inspiration behind creating the project came about? Like I said, I really like Keep Your Shit Together.
Mhm.
With that song, can you just talk about that project a little bit?
Yeah, I think we came up with that just because that's an easy like term for when people are struggling or going through a hard time. I think during the time I put that out, or a little before that, and I kind of cover some of those things in some of the songs. I was just kind of going through things with like music in terms of like my family, and just getting caught up in like my life and stuff over here, not spending enough time with my family when I do go home, to like my place in terms of like Austin and in music as a whole here, my career in terms of like where I'm going and will this happen and is it going to happen? You know what I'm saying? So it was mostly just to put out music that's because before Struggle Bus, I'm pretty sure it was Fire Sign.
Mhm.
And that was more lit, you know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to give people something, so, some real, like some introspective, reflective music to people can kind of resonate with. Cause I know if you're an artist or like some of the things, if you're a person, you can kind of, you can you can relate with it. That's the word I'm looking for. Relate with it. And so just something to kind of show people that there's another side. I like to kind of do that where I gave you like the hype stuff with Fire Sign, had you feeling up, and then kind of show you what else I'm kind of going through.
Were both very personal, and I think that what it was. Because like you said, the other project it was more like you said, turn,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a lot more personal, and like you said, people can relate. So as an artist, how much have you grown from when you start creating music to now? What are some things that you, and also, sorry, what are some things that you haven't got to do artistically as well, that you would like to do?
Hmm.
So how much have you grown, and what's something that you would want to do artistically?
I think I feel like I've grown a lot, especially in the sense of like I feel like a lot of lyricists that start out the way I do, we're in this best rapper alive phase, best rapper alive phase, and you in that like you're stuck with that. I had to like grow and learn that nobody cares about your bar. I mean, people do, you know what I'm saying, if you're a hip hop fan, but not everybody's a music fan, hip hop fan.
Yeah.
And when I'm an entertainer and I'm trying to build my actual job career in this, so I need people that aren't just hip hop and music fans to like my music. So you have to start approaching things like a business, getting your mind look at it like that. Invested in marketing. I learned later on what it in my life what it really means to invest in yourself. Um, like something else I was gonna say. Um, Oh yeah, and like the music that I'm making, trying to pull away from just it being just so best rapper about me, my bars on the best, and focus on make diversifying my discography. I feel like it's diversified, but maybe not enough. That's where I'm at in my career right now. Is really putting out. I've proven that I can rap and I can do that well. What more do I have to offer? So I think I've grown that way as well. Um, just how the things I used to have frustrations with, like whether it be going to shows or not making it where I want to go, those things are still with me. But I've been doing music for a long time, so I know how to deal with those things now, and I know this is part of the game. A lot of this is something that I want to do artistically. Hmm. I guess I'd probably say maybe maybe work with, but I mean I don't even know. That's a good question. Something I'd want to do. I think I'd want to do some. I'd want to incorporate my music into something like because I'm into a lot of like geek culture stuff, like anime and video games and
Wait,
superheroes, comic books. Huh?
culture?
Geek like nerd culture.
I mean, that's not okay. That's
Well, well, no. What I'm saying that's what like the term is, and so I'm saying I'd like to incorporate my music with that in a way, but like still have it be cool and trendy to like mass appeal for people. That's not something I think I've been able to do. I think we're building my brand towards that right now, but I haven't got to do that in a major, meaningful way. Whether that be like, if I doubt that would ever happen, but if I was sponsored by Marvel or like DC, if we got to do some type of collaboration with my J.Mac the Dragon brand and one of them, or a video game studio that I'm really into, or a Japanese animation studio that I'm really into, um, that I think is going to take a whole lot of like me building and like my base and time and money. But that's something that I think would like absolutely this that would one of the be one of the major things in my career because I got to be part of something that I'm in love with my music and incorporate it and make something big, combine those things. Two things that I love, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, you can do like maybe like a music video, like you know what I'm saying, like anime style.
yeah.
That'd be super cool. Or maybe like an album kind of, you know, dedicated to it, or maybe using the analogy of anime.
Right. Yeah. Something like that, or like have and then have all the art and the presentation be comic book or like in the story and like the voice notes in between. Something like big like that. But I want a budget to like go in and make it like a high quality thing. And I need a team that's that's skilled enough to because we want the nerds, yes, the people that like the stuff, but we also want people that aren't fans of the stuff. How is there a way that we can create this to make everybody be like, oh, that's cool? I might not be like us, especially with women, like I might not be like a huge Spider-Man fan, but that's that's hard. You know what I'm saying? I'd rock that or I'd play that or I'd watch that, whatever. So yeah.
Anime is not nerdy. Like let's stop.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
like,
that's not anymore. Not anymore. But back growing up,
oh, what?
um, I imagine we're probably around the same age. There was a period in life, huh?
How old are you?
I'm about to turn 32.
Oh, I'm 25.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe so you're in the now right now. Okay, right now for you, it wasn't like it's not like that. But back when I was growing up, there that it's things have changed. You couldn't just be outwardly with stuff like that.
Okay.
You're growing up in the place where everybody's like, "Oh, this is cool," and like
Yeah, because I mean Avatar is that last year, but there's not anime per se, but I like Dragon Ball Z and
right.
what was it Clash of Titans? Titans?
Oh, Attack on Titans,
Yeah,
yeah,
Attack on Titans, and
yeah.
I was watching One Piece finally on Netflix.
Go. That's in my top five. Go.
And I don't think it's nerdy. I hate when people say that. But okay, so we have 8 minutes left. I'm gonna do is explain the lyrics, and then we're gonna close. So okay, so explain the lyrics. I'm gonna read you your lyrics, and you're just gonna explain like more in detail what you meant by the lyrics.
Yeah.
So lately, so angry, I'm not in the mood to share my feelings from Keep My Shit Together. Keep my
Um. Yeah. What was I during that period? I think it was a lot of like frustration. I think in music and like where I'm not. It's not going the way that I was needing it to. This was before I got with my marketing lady, KF. I'm talking
Yeah,
like
I
like you
kept
don't know it. Yeah, so this is a period before I got with her where it's like I was it's a combination of that, my music, frustrated with like I've been doing this for so long and I'm not seeing the progress that I need to be seeing. My job, like my real world job, I think I do sales, so I think it was a tough period during that time too. Stuff going on with my family that I talk about in the project and everything. So I think it was all these things kind of going on at once. And like my mom uh and my sister were just telling me, and I had a couple peers too, were just telling me that like I should really get somebody to talk to, like a therapist, and find somebody. And I do think that that's good at that time, which is the line is kind of reflecting that I'm just like, I don't really need anybody to talk to. I'm not in a place right now where I feel like I want to talk about it. Um, it's ironic for me because I used to be a person that was I still kind of am, but as you get older life changes you and you go through experiences. I used to be a person that was very real expressive and good about sharing things with those around me. um as I've gone through life experiences, I think it's hardened me in a way, for good or for bad, that I'd rather just deal with it myself, and that's not always a good thing, but yeah.
wonder if I'm still heartbroken from my ex, still more than just a flesh wound. What's that? Let's get into that.
Oh, yeah. I sometimes um sometimes like in dating and stuff like that, or when I have certain situations, it's not so much now, but I wonder if like because I feel like I'm okay. I was in a relationship about, I guess, 3 4 years now that was really toxic, and I got out of it. And we were together for about 4 years. That was a defining relationship in my life because I learned a lot from that relationship, and it was one of the worst experiences I've had to this day. And I feel like as time has gone on, I did not go to therapy. I feel like I just healed and I took my time to heal. So I feel like I'm okay. But sometimes I'll have experiences with women and reactions that I wonder if what if that shit damaged me deeper than I think, you know what I'm saying? Like on a subconscious level. Sometimes it's hard to tell, but that was me kind of just expressing like those thoughts. Like I wonder if maybe I should have went to more. Maybe I should have went to more therapy at the time, like because I wonder if I wonder if it has effects that I'm not aware of in my life or in dating, and because I'm not aware of it, I can't tell whether it's a real thing or a not real thing. So.
Thank you for sharing. I really like that song.
Thank you. Yeah. I like that. Thank you. I haven't heard anybody say, but I really, that was from the heart. I like that song too.
I like that song. Okay, so thank you so much, J Mac the Dragon, for coming on my show.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Shout out your socials and everything so people can follow you.
Yeah. So that'll be Jmac underscore dragon on Instagram. That's the main place where I post my music and my shows and updates. It's Jmac underscore dragon on Twitter. Not active on that, but we're working on it. Jmac the Dragon on YouTube. That's my YouTube channel. Jmac the Dragon on streaming, Spotify, Apple, Google, all that. Yeah.
And also, one last thing, we have about 4 minutes. Is there anything you want to share that you're working on that you want to share with everybody?
Oh yeah, we got a big show. Shout out Kaya, me, her, my homie, another artist, AQ. We got a big show coming up here. My birthday is November 23rd. I'll be turning 32. November 22nd, Saturday, we're gonna have this big show where we're gonna shoot a music video. Me and AQ. It's a collaboration song that we have, and then we're gonna have just like a big, like a lineup. It's gonna be like a party, so people are gonna come, turn up. We're gonna shoot this music video, shoot the show, and just have a blast. So that's the big thing we're working on right now.
Okay, that sounds amazing. I can't wait for it. Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on my show. It was great talking.
Thank you, man. Yes, ma'am. You have a good day.
Check it out, check it out, check it out.